and I don't want to mess around. Everyone knows that this time is special. No one can tell you why. The days go by so fast. Well, there goes Tatty Tats. Everybody's neck goes spastic. What's up, poker cat? You look fanny-pack-tastic. The Amazon's so lively. I'm looking out for Ivy. Could he stick me in the main? I'll sell some pieces. Someone buy me. Everyone knows that this time is special. No one can tell you why. Let's go to Super Satellite. Sell some jars in the hole by the bathroom lines. Yes, there's no juicy, but he can eat tonight. World Series on. Man, I can't wait to go. So far on ESPN. How good is got chickens for the seniors events? Let's get the hundreds of six of the other. World Series on. Man, I can't wait to go. Man, I can't wait to go.
What is up? Good morning, Sherry.
Ooh, good morning. How are you?
It's time for the main event.
Whoop, whoop. Day 1A is today, folks.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. So what did you think of we'll get into it later, but what did you think of the ladies' final table there?
Very exciting time for the second year in a row. There was a lady from Atlanta on the final table, my friend Suzanne Malavet. And last year we had two Atlanta ladies, Diane Cooley and JJ Liu were on the final table. So the ATL is representing the final table of the ladies event. And, I haven't watched it on Poker Go, so I really can't comment on anything that was going on that I couldn't see as far as hold cards were concerned, but it was quite exciting. There was a great rail for all the ladies, and Tammy Abram went home the winner. She dominated the table with her heads up opponent, China Okamoto,
yeah,
from Japan.
And her husband or somebody was the guy that was heads up against Josh Arieh when Josh won his bracelet. I believe. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, that's very cool then. So she is an aggressive player, from what I understand, from folks that tell me from they were watching Poker Go. So I can't speak personally on that, but hell of a player for sure. And the ladies went home winners yesterday for sure.
Yeah, I thought she did well to ladder up and get there to heads up, and gave herself a chance to do well. Heads up and almost closed the gap there. Like I think she got like to about 60-40 or so.
Right.
And then the other lady came back and was able to close it out. It's just such a momentum game when you get into that heads up play, and I think she did well. I think that the lady that won,
Tammy.
Yeah, Tammy. I think that Tammy could have been maybe put a little more pressure, but she won. So like her strategy
she did something
worked.
right. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, like she had a ton of chips, right? And she had a bunch of like small stacks, and I think that in that position you probably want to pressure a little bit more, but I'm not sitting there playing with those ladies for 3 days and seeing what they're doing. So
right.
so that could have definitely been the right strategy. Anyway, Day 3 of the Colossus gets kicked off at 10 a.m. again today. I'm surprised they did that with the main starting.
Well, today's typically the smallest day for the main event, so that's probably why they just didn't think it would be.
Oh, that's why, because the main doesn't start till noon. So 10 a.m. is the $400 day Colossus day 3, and the mini main day 2, and then flight A of the main event isn't until 12. So that's why they did that. Now that I see, sorry, I didn't read that
Well,
part.
and typically day 1A of the main event is the
Super
smallest
small.
field, so.
Yeah, I went over to play one year. I was going to play day 1, and then I said I was like walking over because I was staying at the place behind the Rio, and just halfway there, I was like, not feeling it, so I didn't play that day. Um, okay, so then the 1 p.m. Is the day 2 of the 10K PLO 8 or better, and then 2 p.m. is the 2,500 mixed big bet day 3. And that's it for today. That's what we got going on. So the
Well,
focus really quickly.
I do want to say that I reached out to Kevin Mathers today, and from his point of view, all the satellites should run today.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, they're
So,
going to have plenty of room and that kind of thing. So day 1, like you said, it's really usually pretty the smallest of, not usually, it's always the smallest of all of the flights.
well, I'm going to go over a couple of things about the main event.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be
All
good.
right. So day 1, July 3rd, July 4th, July 5th, and July 6th are all day 1s of the main event. They all start at 12 p.m. Of course, it's a 10K buy-in. The levels are 2 hours in length. July 7th will be day 2 at 12 p.m., and that will be for flights A, B, and C. July 8th is going to be day 2 for flight D. July 9th is going to be the restart for all the remaining players from all of the flights. The blind levels start at 122, and they'll play 17 levels, I believe, for the first day.
5 levels, Sherry. 2 hours
Oh,
each.
I mean, you're right. 5 levels. You're right. Absolutely right. 5 levels. Thank you, Raj. So there you go. That's a synopsis of the main event that starts day 1A today.
It's the total opposite of what I'm playing right now. I'm playing this Turbo Mega Satellite 1100 10-minute levels. So it's quite the opposite of 2-hour levels. So
Satellite to what?
basically to win 10K for the main event. So
There we
Nice.
go.
Nice.
And where are you playing that?
it's at the Horseshoe in Blue.
Oh, okay, cool.
We just had our first break, so I've got a little over starting stack, but
Well, let's go.
it should end pretty. There's about 111 people so far. So
How many brought into that, Raj?
so far 111. Late reg is just about to end, so I'm gonna guess probably 120, 125.
And what
After
what was the buy-in?
1100.
Okay, thank you. It just kind of cut out. So I just wanted to be clear.
So
Well,
10 seats then, about ish,
nice.
right?
Yeah, 10 seats. Yeah, 10 to 11 seats.
Well, get yourself one and make sure you update us and let us know how it's going. You don't need to win the tournament. You just need to finish in the top, whatever it is.
That's exactly right. I just need to be the 11th place. I'll take it.
Brian, you're kind of cutting out, dude. Can you? I don't
I
know.
think it's you. I think it's actually you, Sherry.
And Raj is cutting out too. So I guess it's all of us. And I was just
Raj,
thinking
am I
it
cutting
might
out?
be.
No, I can hear Brian fine.
Yeah, I think it's the internet there wherever you are.
Or horseshoe at the horseshoe.
At the horseshoe the internet.
Hey, I want to talk for a minute about the Doyle celebration of life. Doyle Brunson.
Yeah, that was awesome.
When I got down there at about 20 after 11, doors are supposed to open at 11:30. I thought, oh, there's a lot of people in line, and the line kind of, wiggled its way around the lobby area of the Horseshoe. Probably about 100 people in line when I got there. And happy to say, well, I don't know, not happy to say, but there still were empty seats when we got started. I thought, and many thought, one of the classiest things they did was when you walked in the door, they gave you a deck of cards, and it had Doyle's picture on it, of course. And the deck of cards contained 26 tens and 26 deuces, which was such a sweet touch, you know. And as the ceremonies went on, I would say some of the key points. Um, I forget who the main speaker was, the MC, but he was a good friend of Doyle's, and he said, "It looks like we have a quorum of the poker community with us today." And so I think I'm going to put something up to a vote if that's okay with everybody. He said, "I think as of today, um, every October 2nd or every 10/2 of every year should be known as Doyle Brunson Day." And so he said, so all those in favor say aye. And of course, the audience was more than happy to oblige. And so there you have it. It is now written.
Sherry,
So,
let me play this clip they posted. Poker News posted of Todd's part of
well,
Todd's.
yeah, that was going to be the next thing I mentioned.
Okay.
Todd, you know, of course, it was a very emotional day for him. He was one of the last speakers, of course, and I thought that, you know, he kind of ribbed the other people there that gave some comments, and it was just a moment in time. So go ahead.
And I thought I would say something nice about all the speakers who spoke. But then I started thinking about Daniel busted me the last 2 tournaments that I played in. Literally. Do you know what's just happened and you just no compassion? It's okay, kid poker. I don't know why you still call yourself that. You're like almost as old as my dad was. And Phil Hellmuth, he just couldn't stand that my dad was going to have this big event just for him. I'm not going to say he's an egomaniac, but he had to go win a bracelet 3 hours before the event. And I thought I would say something nice.
That's
it was such a special moment because, you know, everybody always talks about, you know, the brat taking the spotlight and his, you know, antics taking the spotlight. And it was just so perfect. Like, it was just so perfect when he said that. It was amazing.
And Todd's timing, like he's just got such a dry sense of humor, and his
Yes.
timing is just so good. I love how he just pauses, and he's like a pro, you know. So
Absolutely, he's lots of experience. You know, some of his speech yesterday, I don't know if some of his speech yesterday really did the heartstrings because, and I really hope that when they do I hope that they put the film of the event out in its entirety. And because one of the things that was through the thread of his little spiel, really pulled on the heartstrings, as in, you know, his dad kind of took him as a tag along, and he would be, you know, playing in a corner by himself in the casino or card room while his dad was playing for hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. And, you know, it was almost like, as a mom, it was almost like, oh, you know, my son wanted to, you know, be with his dad, and instead his dad is playing poker. And, you know, it was just it was very, you know, eye opening when he told some of the things that he went through with his dad in life. And yeah, it was very touching, yet sad too, I think. But anyway, it was a glorious day of celebration.
yeah, nice.
And there were some very poignant moments for sure. So thank you.
Yeah, as expected, it was pretty good event. So I want to go to the Colossus, and our friend Snoop Dogg got wiped out there, and
No, I thought he was still in. I
no,
after I railed the ladies event, I went out for dinner with my friends, and I don't use my phone when I'm out with friends, so I didn't know what his status was this morning. Well, damn,
yeah,
what happened?
he he opened in mid position uh, with Jax with two point 320K with 2.1 million behind.
Fucking
Uh,
Jax, Donna, tell these
yeah,
people.
yeah, the guy ends up snapping him off with King Queen, and lost a big pot there, and then I don't know what happened after that, but he ended up going out 161st. That was the one where he lost like a good chunk of chips, and ended up going out 161st for $3,600. So
Well,
uh,
good for him. At least he made a little profit on the deal. I hate that he's out though.
yeah, I mean, I was telling him I was calling up friends and getting these some killers together for a morning like coaching session before he went in there for day 3, but we had to call it off. But yeah, I was really rooting for him. Although I don't know, I think I was going to have to go back up to Vegas, so that would have been pretty crazy. Because definitely would have had to be there for that. He's such a good guy. Got to hang out with him and miss Snoop the other day, uh, and they're good people. Crazy story here. This guy. Um, Let me make sure I get this right. Um, Colin Robinson. Um, he's coming off of a runner-up finish in the Monster Stack event for 700K, and he is, I think, second in chips here. Let me make sure. No, he is. Yeah, he's second in chips in the Colossus here,
Oh,
headed
nice.
with 80 players left.
Well,
So
hey, do you have the list in front of you of the players?
yeah, yep.
Could you look up? I don't know his last name, but his first name is Adam, and he's from Atlanta. I
Adam
ran into
Velez.
him. I'm sorry.
Adam Velez.
How much is how many? What does he have in chip stacks?
4 point something million. Yeah.
And what's the bottom stack of that tournament right now?
He has 4.5 million. The bottom stack, 80th place, 660,000.
Okay, good.
He's in 58th place right now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. I'm gonna probably go play a satellite today and try to check on him when I'm down there.
Yeah, Jesse Kirtland is your chip leader, and the day 1 chip leader is out. So I'm sorry, the day 1 chip leader is already out. So that just tells you, like, if you're playing the main today, like, or any day this week, you cannot win the main event, contrary to popular belief, on day 1. So
Look, I'm just going to tell you, you do not want to be the chip leader. You want to be second chip leader
uh,
going into day
uh,
2 because chip leader is the curse.
I'll take the curse, but but
Ah,
you
you're so
cannot
funny.
win the tournament on day 1. So
True
just
that.
take what comes, and hopefully you have above a starting stack going into day 2. But even if you don't, if you have chips, you're still alive,
Oh my
and
God, yeah.
that's the main goal for day 1 is survive.
Now you know I was just joking about not being the chip leader, right? Going in day 2.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
and I've had.
I mean, I
You'll
have a
take
crazy sense of humor, and so sometimes I'm like, wait, did he really take me seriously right then?
No, I'll take it. I'll take the lead anytime you want to give it to me, especially in the main event. John Turner leads the way in the 2,500 mixed big bet event. 146 players came into day 2, and there's 24 left. Let me just see here. 377 started the event, 190,000 up top, and I'm sorry, Eric Linger was your chip leader on day 1. Mike Norrie is in second now. Eric Linger drops down to 4th place. Still, obviously, Benny Glazer is in 6th place. Going back down through the field, 14th is Steve Zolotow, Anthony Zeno, and Bryce Yaki in 20th. David Baker, it was the last eliminated, headed into day 3 here. So that event will play down probably to a winner today. Let's see. So
hey, how about why don't we pick a winner? Who do we think's going to win the main event today or this year?
the main event?
Yeah, let's each pick someone.
Well,
that's a crazy question, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't want to jinx them. Like I have. So last time I had a feeling that my buddy Johnny Bax was gonna win the main event. Sherry, I walked by his table on day 3. He didn't have a lot of chips, but he was still there, and I just had this feeling. And so he ends going into the November 9 as the chip leader, and I'm sitting there like, I can't tell him. I cannot tell. I gotta keep my mouth shut. I can't jinx it. So I didn't say anything. I kept my mouth shut. But he ended up in 3rd. But pretty good to pick somebody on day 3.
So why don't we just throw some names out there? Why don't we just say maybe
I'm gonna
top
say
10?
Daniel Negreanu is gonna get even for the summer by winning the main event.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say that some of my picks would be Andrew Moreno.
Oh, yeah, he'd be a good pick.
Another one of my picks would be Preston
McEwen.
Another one of my picks would be JJ Liu.
Okay, if you guys promise not to say anything to him, do I have everyone's promise?
Because we're not recording or anything, but go ahead.
Okay, but don't tell him about this recording. Ronnie Barda. That's my pick.
I like it.
He's going to finally win the main event.
How awesome would that be?
And you got to root for Josh Arieh too. So do I get 3? I'll take 3, but my first pick is Ronnie Barda.
Right.
I would love to see him. He's such a cool guy, and he's like everything that the TV people want. Like somebody that's just
a big personality.
He is gonna let you know how he feels about it. It's like raw and real. And that's how he got the spot on Survivor. I'm sure they saw that in him.
Well, and you know who we cannot leave out on this list is Josh Arieh.
Yeah, that's what I said. Josh Arieh.
Oh, yeah. You must have cut out. I'm sorry.
He's my third pick. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did not hear. What was your second pick? D-Nex?
My second, yeah. Okay. The first pick is Ronnie Barda. Second pick is Josh Arieh. and third would be Dean Eggs. Just
Okay.
because you always have to.
Well, I'm going to put out another name just because he's on a roll now is Phil Hellmuth. I think he has to be on this list. You
That would
just can't.
be okay. Can we share Phil though? Like,
You're so funny.
I gotta be pulling for him too. Like I can't
Yeah,
be against him.
of course. And you know who we can't leave out also is Sean Deebs.
Did I tell you I walked by Phil's table and he had these sweatpants on that had holes all in them?
Yeah, you
They've
did
got.
tell us that. Yep.
I went
And
to
I'm
tweet to him, but I'm like, this is gonna sound awkward. So
but
maybe
you know,
next time.
his
Yeah.
lucky sweats, and you know, there's some people out there like Ellie that's in love with him in those sweats. So, you know, he's got something working
Oh
for him with
no!
those sweats. But back to this list.
I thought you were
Um,
talking about Elia Lesra.
oh God, no.
I was like,
Space
whoa,
Cadet
that's weird.
Ellie. Space Cadet Ellie.
Yeah, perfect.
And I when I say cadet about someone, it's because they're in our spaces and
Yeah,
I met them in spaces. So I don't want people to think I'm insulting,
you're
but
not dogging on Ellie.
right. And you know,
First,
because it might be a minion here that you know can't wait to go tell the teacher. But anyway, back to this list. You know, I mentioned Sean D, so we can't leave him off of possibilities.
yeah, that I'd love to see him win it too. I mean,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I mean, I guess in the end, I just want one of these guys that's been one of the good guys. Like we don't want to see Jake Schindler or Ollie win the main event. That
Oh, you're so funny. Another person, number 10 on this list for me, is going to be Kristen Becknell Foxen.
that would be cool. First woman to win the main event. She could do
So,
it. She's a killer.
exactly. So, there's our list of 10
In
people.
that field, like, what is her markup? What would her markup, like a fair markup, be for her?
I would say like 1.75.
Yeah, I think so. I would pay 1.7.
Yeah, I think 1.75 is a fair. She's got a huge proven track record. She plays 90%, I would say, high rollers. Um, she's been, you know, she's played with everybody, so she's got the knowledge base. So she was a prime candidate, in my view, for what that's worth.
Yeah. So the 10K pot limit Omaha high low 8 or better kicked off yesterday, and Michael Banducci is the leader in that with David Wang in second. I would say fan favorite Dave Michael. I'm sorry, Michael Wang. Um, and then my buddy Cliff Josephie back there in fifth place with 296,000. So, going to be rooting for him in this event. And they don't have the prize pool up yet. Probably with these 10Ks, I think registration sometimes is open ended too. So,
Okay, so you can tell from the fact that I can't count to 10 right now that I've been in Vegas for many days. That was only 9 people on the list. So the 10th one that I would like to add, and if you have that one, we'll add 11th person. But I'm going to say Chance Cornick. He's
oh,
been
yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
mean, I think he is definitely worth being our number.
I like
Uh,
your picks. I'm gonna have to like borrow your picks here again, Sherry. These are
we'll
gonna be
just call
joint
him our.
picks.
We'll just call him our day 35 software and peaches picks.
I
Okay,
mean,
so
I
there you go.
always got to have Chance, and I always got to have Cliff Josephie, Johnny Backs, my guys. Like I gotta have those guys in there, and then obviously Dutch would be just amazing, and he's
Oh,
playing
that'd be
really
awesome.
well this year too. So you never know. Like Dutch could, like these guys all are such at a super high level that they other people just don't break down the game like they do. They're just like
Right.
amazing people. So yeah,
So,
I like the
thank you. Here's the thing. There's going to be over 10,000 people in this field because I just know we're going to break records.
oh, for sure.
And, for us to just pick 10 names arbitrarily out of 10,000, the odds aren't in our favor to pick the right one, but it's just going to be for the fun of it, right?
Yeah, and like I said earlier, today will be a much smaller day with, day 1A is always smaller. A lot of people talk about like different, thinking on which day is the best day to play. And I think it was Faraz that said the best, like the best day to play is the day that you feel like is best for you.
Right.
Because if you look back at the field, they've come from all different days. There's some theory that like day 4 is going to have the most recreational players, but it's also the biggest, so I mean proportionally probably the most recreational players, but you also have less days off in between, to rest up
Right.
for day
Right.
2. And if you get to day 7 or so, it is a grind, like because they're better about it now, especially with the main. They're not like playing like they used to play like crazy number of hours per day, and now they try not to as much. Although when they get down to the final table and stuff, depending on stack sizes, they don't have a ton of control over it because of the television coverage
Right.
and
Right.
that stuff. They can't just go like, oh, let's just throw in an extra day. So so that's kind of tough. And it's one of the problems with televised poker is, it's one thing if an NBA game goes 20 minutes over. It's another thing if it goes, 10 hours over.
Right.
Something
Of
crazy.
course. Of
So
course.
so you just don't know. I mean, I think the way to solve that is to pre-package stuff into like the other events, like pre-package stuff, so you have some time to fill in and stuff like that if it ran short. Uh,
Right.
and then just hope that it doesn't go too over. But yeah, so today day 1A, and then the next 4 days will be day 1s through what, Thursday, Sherry? 1, 2, 3, 4 Thursday, yeah. So and then come back for day 2A, I would say on Friday, right? And then
Okay, July the 7th. Okay, we're going to go by dates.
yeah,
July the 7th is 2A for A, B, and C. And July 8th is day
that
2 for flight D.
right, because D is just too big. And then what, they combine back together
July the 9th. I'm
on
glad
the
you're paying attention this morning. July the 9th is everybody meets for a party and hopefully get a winner. The start of the winner's circle.
yeah. Yeah, so they'll probably get into the money on Sunday, late Sunday or early Monday.
Right.
So, all right. Well, hopefully Raj updates us on getting his seat there into the main. He's playing the satellite right now, and bummer. I was total bummed for Snoop because I was hanging out and I ended up staying there way too late because he was just having so much fun. I was grabbing the poker news people. You got
Yeah,
to
you're
interview
telling
Snoop.
us. They had them get his picture. They put the wrong name with his picture.
Yeah,
Fun
they put
times.
Snoop a loop. I was cracking up. He is such a fun person to hang out with, and root for. But he wins this pot late on day 1, and the entire room knew about it. He's like, "Let's go!" It was pretty fun. But that's a pretty crazy run, though, Sherry. Like, what was it, 160th or so out of 18,000 people or
Guess what?
entries?
That is amazing.
That is a great run.
That is amazing. Snoop for the killer run in the Colossus.
Yeah, and he almost 10x'd his money there. So that,
Yep.
those it's hard though, that like that's the kind of thing, like you get one of those a summer maybe. Um and you gotta get to the end there, because it's expensive to come out and play all the a bunch of the
Hell yes.
stuff. So but I know
Next
that he
numbers.
just played a few, so he's probably going to be a good solid positive for the summer. But obviously we're always dreaming of the bracelet. So.
Just look at D next numbers. He's negative just under $1 million for the summer. It's not cheap.
No, it's crazy expensive, and then you got travel costs on top of that. Pretty good guess by me on the prize pool on the Colossus, $501,120. So I was $1,120 off. Pretty good.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's a
Amazing.
nice prize for first place. But can you imagine your heads up, 300K for second? So you're playing a $200,000 heads up match in a $400 buy-in. That is absurd, like 100% absurd.
Right.
Just
Right.
completely absurd. And ninth place, 46,000. So you make the final table, 46,000. That's a lot for a $400 buy-in, obviously, but with a first prize of 500, that is one heck of a sit and go.
And that is the attraction, right? That's the attraction of the
Yeah.
Colossus.
I mean, you're right. Like, the top prize is always the driving. Everybody looks at how much is first and this and that. But man, it's, poker probably would be a little bit better as far as economically being able to be sustainable as a pro in multi-tables if it wasn't so crazy for the first place win, because that's just getting to first place. Getting into the money is skill. Getting to first place is largely luck. Like,
Right.
it switches around there. So I don't know. I don't really love like the huge top prize kind of thing. And for a $400 buy-in, like, they could have made first price 300, 400,000. That's a ton of money.
Look, we have D Negs to thank for that. So there you go.
Yeah. 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 So yeah. I don't really love that, but anyway. So I think that's about it, though.
I think you're right. I'm going to get ready to go play something today. I think it's going to be the 1 o'clock deep stack, I think. So I'm waiting on my room service and I'm going to get ready and go. And what do you do today? I guess we're never going to meet face to face this trip.
No, I might come out. We'll see.
Today? I leave tomorrow, so
No. I'm sure I'll see you at some point soon.
Of course, of course. Everybody have a great day. Good luck on the felt plane. Raj, take that satellite down.
Yeah, let us know, buddy.
Yeah, there's about 60 to 120 total. So
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, buddy.
Have a good day, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.